welcome back to another episode of Black in Time. Today I'm going to talk about black brain surgeons, but more specifically, I'm going to talk about a few you probably haven't heard of. When it comes to black brain surgeons, one name stands out above the rest: Dr. Ben Carson. Many of today's black doctors will tell you that they grew up idolizing Dr. Carson. He rose to prominence in the 1980s because of his position on a team of surgeons who were the first to separate Siamese twins joined at the head. Dr. Carson was a public spokesman for the team and quickly became the center of attention. From there, his origin story of growing up in abject poverty in Detroit with a mother who had a third-grade education became known, and he quickly became what folks call a media darling. He eventually rose to the position of Chief of Pediatric Neurosurgery at Johns Hopkins. He wrote a book which my mother forced me to read at age 14 called Gifted Hands. I too idolize Dr. Ben Carson and regard him as part of my inspiration to endure the long road to becoming a physician and pursuing a surgical career. However, Ben Carson started to tarnish his record when he started to move beyond medicine. He made a series of bizarre public statements, routinely criticized and attacked the nation's first black president, and after a failed presidential campaign, joined the administration of a man who many regard as the most despicable and repugnant public figure to emerge in American politics in at least 2 generations: Donald J. Trump. Black people are not comfortable praising Dr. Carson in front of their children or their pets anymore. His portrait has been moved to a less visible corner at the library at Archbishop Boarder School in Baltimore, and he in general has just fallen out of favor with most of the African American public. Now, these things are going to happen. Heroes rise and heroes fall. But his story is still important. The story of being a young black person overcoming adversity through hard work, talent, character, discipline. So if we don't want to tell Ben Carson's story, why don't we tell another story? After all, Ben Carson's not the first black neurosurgeon, and he's hardly the only black neurosurgeon. Dr. Clarence Green became the first African-American neurosurgeon in 1954. He died an early and unexpected death when he had a heart attack in 1957. But today I don't want to talk about Dr. Clarence Green or Dr. Ben Carson. Actually, I want to talk about the first black female neurosurgeons. They too have remarkable stories, and they were discussed in Ebony Magazine from September 1983. First is Dr. Alexa Canady. She's most likely the very first black female neurosurgeon by about a year. She attended undergrad and medical school at the University of Michigan, graduated cum laude from medical school, and was inducted into Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, which indicates that she graduated in the top 10% of her class. Then she did her internship, which is the first year of residency, at Yale, and completed her neurosurgery residency at the University of Minnesota in 1981. That's a 7-year residency, followed by a 1-year fellowship, which she did at Children's Hospital in Philadelphia. At the time of this article's publication in 1983, she was the director of pediatric neurosurgery at Detroit's Henry Ford Hospital. Her father, Dr. Clinton Canady, was a dentist, and her mother was a financial aid counselor at a local community college. She grew up believing that she would one day be a theoretical mathematician, but fell in love with neurosurgery after exposure in medical school. Now, Dr. Deborah Hyde-Rowan has a different story. She's actually the first person in her family to graduate from college. She grew up in Laurel, Mississippi, and is the daughter of divorced parents. She states that she did not grow up with any particular professional ambition. She graduated from Tougaloo College with a degree in biology, then earned a master's degree in biology from Cleveland State University. And then she graduated from Case Western Reserve University Medical School, where she was also named to Alpha Omega Alpha Honor Society, the top 10% of her class. She graduated from internship and residency at University Hospitals in Cleveland. Dr. Canady and Dr. Hyde are very well respected by their colleagues who sing their praises throughout this article. They also seem to have very different personal lives. Dr. Canady is single and enjoys reading and playing golf, while Dr. Hyde-Rowan was married to Hugh, a man who worked in retail management, and says that she enjoys sightseeing and crocheting. I kind of wonder if she threw those lines out there just to get the interviewer out of her face, because there's got to be more to it than that. But that's what she left everybody with. Anyway, I wanted to highlight these 2 ladies because these women are outstanding examples of what black women can truly be. Intelligent, disciplined, competent, professional, well-respected. Tell your daughters, tell your friends about our first 2 Black women neurosurgeons. And I will see you on the next episode.